Good day, everyone. So today is going to be another backtesting session. And on our previous episode or video, we tackled about the first month of August and how, we just really try to be adaptive and reactive on what the market is presenting. And, we're going to, stay on applying that same ideology on this coming day because, we're still pretty early in August. We need to kind of like grasp what the market condition is. But I have a gist on so far this month. Drawn liquidity is clear, but the delivery is not the best. Anyways, just go into due day as if, none of those really happened. So we can have like a clear mind going today, not really have any sort of stock bias. All right. So, okay, on August 2, just look at the news. We have a news today, which is ADP. Not really much, I think. It's 15 didn't really do much. All right. So I'll just mark out my key arrays here. I don't really like anything about the hourly. We're currently on this hourly bearish. Like we're balancing from this hourly BPR. We're also like rejecting from the bearish gap. So I'm not really liking what I'm seeing at the moment. Yeah, I'm not liking what I'm seeing at the moment. I just want to see this 2 to 3 minute intermediate high levels and see where price wants to go first. All right, we're gonna take a 15 minute intermediate low. So are we gonna go lower? We did actually went lower and took the sales side liquidity. Let's look at ES. So ES fails to take that, giving us a bullish S&P out of this sales side liquidity. Let's see if it's gonna have a great regain there because we might want to rebalance and all of this lows. All right. Anyway, we just say here that we take our total liquidity. You can have a strong regain or like a resweep of this low just for better structure. I would like that. I would like to see that. All right. Rejected from that 5 minute, which indicates that you might want to go lower, but it's really chopped up. So I don't really like it. Structure wise, I don't really like the structure for the day. We might have a no trade day here again. Yeah, there's no NG here for me. The price action is pretty choppy. All right. 15 minute maybe, 5 minute, 3 minute. All right. You can actually take this. It's lower probability though, because on how choppy we are, but we just clearly want to go lower. I just that's pretty clear for me. We want to go lower. However, what I don't like about this, we're gonna open up 15 minutes, but this 15 minute will be our stop loss, right? Let's say we took this inverse. I thought, something to put in mind. Never try to take an entry when and until gaps at your stop loss. This might be a good short. Sometimes it would work. Sometimes it won't. For me, this high probability won't work. In this case, we are delivering from this until 5 minute, got a 3 minute inverse to the high time frame inversion to the downside. You could take this, but for me, I'll either wait for a retweet. But if this works, then I mean, good thing. But I won't take it. Because I just really didn't like it. Yeah, it's just a hella chop. It would work, but hella choppy. You can think about that. So yeah, that bang right there. But was it the highest probability trade? No. For me, like personally, just coming out on the month, I tend to just really observe the market because it's never the goal to try to get the most amount of trades in a month. What matters most is how profitable you are in that month. And for me, like the first few days, for a few weeks, I try to assess, the market condition of that month and try to really adapt. And then when the opportunity presents itself, I'll start risking more. So I'm just still gonna journal this as a no trade day. Um, and the reasoning why I didn't take it. So, all right. Why did I fade it this trade? The 3 minute inversion was a minute away from was a minute away from opening a unfilled 15-minute candle, which just says that which indicates that our uh stop loss has an unfilled gap above it. So it would work, but it's lower probability. So basically, I would call this a suboptimal trade. It's a hit or miss. It's a lower probability, and always put in mind you try to execute the system that has a high probability to work. Why would you try to take a trade if it has a lower probability? If you could just wait on other days because the market will always be there. Why just wait for other days to present itself and have a high probability setup, right? So this type of days that yeah, this is suboptimal. The drawn liquidity is clear, but I just that's in my rules. You gotta follow the systems. That's what I say. Every time you see your baby rules, you're gonna be punished. So I didn't take that because you gotta make sure that you gotta follow the rules, and in due time, it will reward us. All right. So what is this? An hourly intermediate low here. We wanna keep flushing lower. Basically, we're delivering out of this until hourly. There's gap and expecting it. On the 15 minute, we don't have gap at the moment. So let's look further the news of the day. Oh, there was also an unemployment claims. Where was that? All right, we already took the data high, so that's out. Gonna have PMI by 10. All right. Do we have an SMT up with that? Yes, sir. 930 high wasn't even taken. All right, I'm gonna take it short. Guess you pretty much, delivering from this unfilled 5 minute over here, delivering from this unfilled 5 minute, which is also an FED SMT. All right. More discretionary for me, like when I'm trying to enter really early off market open, it's pretty discretionary, but the draw liquidity tends to be pretty clear. I just want to get a one-on-one here. You don't really have that strong conviction that you want to go to this hourly intermediate low right away. I think that would be the case because I don't want to cut my stop loss on a place that, you can easily reject off. So I think that's the only move here. But this actually is pretty far away. Yeah, it's pretty far away. Okay, I'm just gonna go try to get a one-on-one here. All right. Personally, I don't want to see the price going above this gap. So it's also this OB here. I want this kind of like OB to hold. So, all right. Just putting my stop slightly above that and just going for a one-on-one. So I'm gonna go break even at this break even sell-side liquidity over here. But we still have like draw lower, but I don't really have the conviction yet that we'll go to that low. But this is like a higher time frame on liquidity, which is this case is an hourly intermediate low. Always just low hanging fruit, guys. Take a trade, risking under 1%. Prepare like when it's really early of market open, I risk lower since I'm trying to really just build a discretion around it at the moment. So let's get this one-on-one here. Go break even at the sell side liquidity. Get it. Oh shit, are we gonna get stopped out right away? All right, we got stopped out there. All right. We didn't quite hold towards the sell side liquidity here. Like mentioned, this was also pretty discretionary, and um, what I just really wanted was the flush for the volatility. But so far, in the first 2 days, I think the first 3 days of August, we failed on the first market open trade as well. So I think I'd rather just choose entering on like a 10 a.m. past 10 a.m. kind, to kind of like trade the 10 a.m. bill free. I have more conviction on that because certainly this type of setups don't quite work yet. So this was a losing trader here. Let's note this down in our journal. So this is good information, guys. Always a good information. Don't think at loss like, oh shit, it's bad. Two of them could definitely be avoided because we're just trying to test the waters, and in this case, it wasn't working out as well as we wanted to be. So, all right, let's keep going, keep going. All right, we actually what we do? I think it was a 3 minute. Yeah, it was a 3 minute holding, but I won't enter there anyway. So we took this high over here, which was a 15-minute intermediate high, or an hourly intermediate high. Then we take an hourly intermediate high here. Can we get a retrace that will take long, so we're 2 15 minutes? All right, we already took it. Yeah, we already took it. I'm leading to a no trade right now after that loss. We inversed the 5 minute though. Where's ES? ES is still lower, bro. Still lower. Yeah, ES is still lower. I mean, obviously we have a bearish S&T because this 9 a.m. high was taken, I think. Oh, it's the same thing with ES, but ES just seems like it's lower. Mhm. All right. Should we take this 5 minute short? Yeah, I think it's valid, but I don't like the regains, so the risk little here as well. Probably like we can just go for a 101 or yeah, I'll actually target this low now because um if the draw liquidity is really right, we should flush here to the downside, break even here. And 10 AM PO3 wise, I got what I wanted to see. Where's the 10 a.m. candle? The 10 a.m. candle here, so we had like an open low high close 505 here, while simultaneously filling an unfilled, I mean, taking an hourly intermediate high. And we're just overall like trying to complete the sell side of the curve, possibly. We really want to go on this if we're really that bearish. So let's take this trade. Not really much risk again. Let's do this. It's 1%. Yeah, typical. And all right, let's screenshot this. See it. Okay, risk-free trade there. I'm gonna just log this in real quick, by the way. We might forget about it. All right. So risk-free here at this point. Guess this is, we're now entering on a 5 minute here. So risk-free. See if we can have another break even or a really nice trade here. At this point, I don't really see us going back to an entry, then going lower again. This is either a matter of, rejecting or not. So, risk-free trade. Take a screenshot of this. Get it. All right. Are we gonna reject off of that? Let's actually look for SMTs here. But as for now, I want this 5 minutes hold. Hold bearish. Yes. All right. I should have actually took contracts off there. We might actually reverse here because um didn't look at it on time because actually we had like an SMT on what candle. The low was already taken out on that 1027 candle, which was which candle? 1027. Had a bullish S&P on those those at this point, but wasn't able to take profit. So I just hold. I just hold it. All right. Um, if you still might want to go lower if this 5 minute gets validated. If not, we're gonna get a break even. But we would have really took our profits there, honestly. But it's what it is. So let's got this. All right, we got a break even trade there. Oh, I forgot to go break even. All right, but it's already break even at this point. Yeah, two break evens in a row. This one could be avoided, guys. This for me is a type of trade that I could have just take profit on, but I had a lack of clarity on trying to look at the other index. If I was able to do that, I would have taken at least a contract off or all of it by this, I think this candle or this candle, and that would at least get us up, 1.24 R, and diminishing from all of these losses that we had here. Nonetheless, it was really a bad management. So yeah, starting the month with two break evens and a loss, really not a great month so far. The statistics is really trying to balance it out because um, we had a really great month last month, and um, yeah, we're just low key balancing at the moment with losses, so that that's why I just always put in mind, like when you lose, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing bad. Doesn't always mean you're doing bad, guys. It's just in a statistic, there's not 100% win rate system, and you have to take in mind that those losses are just part of the losing part statistic, and you're still in your system. As long as you're in the system, there's there. But honestly, this is really not really part of my system. I call this more of like a discretionary type of trades because I'm still trying to gain discretion, and there are really times that market would um reward this kind of setups, but not today. So it's really gonna be it for this episode. It's not really a great start on the month. Having those break evens. Um, Pretty much this was a bad break even here. It could really be a TP type of trade. I really don't really have any issue with my TP placement if I'm really strong on liquidity as per my draw. All right, but wasn't able to look here. All right, ES was now actually took all of this sell side liquidity, and we're not really gonna be able to capitalize on any of that. But I just held it because at that point I think we're already here, and you know it's under 1 hour. I'd rather just let it be and just be accountable of the thing that wrong thing that I did, and really try to really get the lesson off of that. to really be attentive on the posing or the correlated asset in this case, which is ES, and I failed that in this case, and I paid the price. And it's gonna be all for today's video, guys, and I hope you learned a lot and trying to learn from my mistakes as well, because the best teachers is all of the mistakes that you've done. In my opinion, this is the best teacher of all time, of the lessons that you've learned from your past mistakes. And if you're able to utilize that and actually learn from it, you're going to be way, way better in the shortest amount of time. So it's going to be all for today's video, guys. And this is me always reminding that every time you follow your system, you will be rewarded. Every time you don't, you'll be punished. Peace out.